Hey there, Farm Trail. Today we're at the Snowbird Farm Cidery in Brady, Washington. We're going to check out their summer craft market as well as talk to the owners one-on-one, talk about their passions and what really drives them to host such great events for the local community.
Hi, I'm Raeann Edwards. I'm the owner of Snowbird Farm Cidery here in Brady, Washington.
Well, thank you for having us out today. We really always enjoy coming out to your events. You guys always put on some big events compared, and you always have like a wide eclectic range of vendors. Both spilling outside of your barn and into your yards. Tell us like a little bit about your property here. What exactly the Snowbird Farm Cidery does in total. I know you guys have cider and you guys have craft fairs and stuff you put on, but I know there's more to that.
We've decided, well, it's been several years ago, to retire and open up a cidery because I had started making cider and it got fun, and my friends were like, you could sell this, so go make a cidery. And so we looked around for quite a while to find the perfect place. I wanted an old historic barn and found one. The main idea was the cidery itself. The goal was to start a small cidery, but I wanted it to be a farm cidery with the animals and such. And really the idea was community. I wanted a place that community, families especially, could come and enjoy themselves and hopefully buy the cider, but, you know, have animals to look at and things to do that just, you know, get the community to come together in one spot. So that was kind of the main goal to begin with. Although the cidery is, the main focus as far as making the money. And even that wasn't as important as just, you know, had to be a business that would support itself, obviously.
Do you find that you quickly found people coming out to the cidery, or was it kind of a longer transition to get people to know who you guys are and actually come out and start showing up every week?
So we started advertising it as the farm aspect while we were in the process of building the cidery. So that took actually several years and different, you know, departments to get through for licensing and that. So, but we had the animals and so a lot of social media just on that aspect. But we didn't have the public coming, but we had our name out there. So when we first opened the doors, there was, most of the people were friends and family that had been following us along the way. So they came in right away. But we started in January 20th was our opening day.
Of which year?
Of 2022.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of progress pretty fast.
So it's only been 2.5 years. So middle of winter in an unknown place is kind of hard. So it was pretty slow at the beginning, but once the weather got better and it's a farm and people started showing up and visiting the goats, and then we had outside games and, you know, the weather was great. People started coming in and then then we started having the different events. I think Craft Market was one of our first events, actually. And the events bring a lot of people in and bring a lot of new people in so they're great in that aspect, that they bring a lot of people in for the event, but then they discover the cidery that way. And then they come back to the cidery.
Do you find that a lot of the attendees are from within the county, or are they coming from outside of the county?
At the beginning, it was mostly very local, Montesano, Elma. Then we branched out to like Ocean Shores. But now this summer, because what is it, our third summer? Yeah. We're starting to pick up a whole lot of people from Seattle
cool.
That area coming. The beach traffic.
Just passing through.
Yeah, people coming through, so they're on their way home or on their way down, and they, you know.
And are they finding you're visible from the highway, from the backside. You can see your barn. It's awesome.
Right.
But do you find that, are you putting signs out to gain that traffic, or do you think that traffic's finding you online?
They're mostly finding online. We don't have any signs on the road, though. We talked about it. That is kind of a process, getting signs on the road.
Sure.
And a bit of an expense. And it's like, how big of, is an expense worth, is it going to bring in more people? But with social media now, that's where the biggest traffic goes, and all our advertising is on social media. So, and it for what we're doing and the amount of people that we want, that works just fine.
And without going too deep into the subject, just because now I'm curious, is most of that social media done through just Facebook? You got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Like, where are you at on there?
Just mostly Facebook and Instagram. Today, it's all the vendors have all their social media.
Sure.
So you're actually.
Well, that's pretty powerful with all that.
They're reaching out to a whole lot of people. Who's going to visit?
Would you mind sharing one of the most difficult processes in starting up the business or in running it in the last few years? What was the most difficult challenge that might have popped up out of nowhere that you just weren't expecting?
Oh, that's a tough question. I guess it would be permitting, because some permitting agencies are actually easier than you expect them to be. Like, our federal permits were really easy, and federal permits are never easy, right? But they were easy. But then when we got to the county was a little more difficult, and it's just so many hoops. So that makes it difficult, because there's so many agencies and they have all the similar hoops, but then they have different hoops as well. And I guess that would probably be the toughest, because you have, just like, I'll give you an example, like in our tasting room for the county, we had to have a door at a certain distance, or a gate a certain distance from the door, but or not have it there at all. And so we wanted to not have it there at all, because that would be the simplest. But for the state permitting, you had to have something blocking there. But we had to move where it blocked, because the county, so they have similar rules, but the rules are different enough that you have to.
Did you have anybody help guide you through that, or was it just you trying to figure it out, Google searching? Like, how did you navigate that?
Most of it was on our own, and a lot of Googling.
Last question I have for you would be, what's the most rewarding part of the entire process from start till today? What's the most rewarding thing that it lights the fire every day to keep moving?
It's the community aspect. It's really rewarding when you get people here and they say, thank you for being here, because we don't have anything else like this, and they bring their family, and it's multi-generation, and they're here for hours with a picnic, and they buy some cider, but maybe even not that much, but they're just enjoying themselves, and they just love being here, and they appreciate being here and having a place that they can do that. So that's the most rewarding.
Awesome. That's great. So, thank you so much for your time today. I know we're in the middle of a big event of yours, the Summer Craft Market, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to meet with us today.
Well, thanks.
And we're going to get some cider, check out the rest of your stuff, and have a good day. And
all right.
We got these goats here who desperately need some attention.
Yes, it's like, it should be out. There's nobody feeding them popcorn yet. So they want their popcorn.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.